Hey friends, this is Tracy Brown, and my team and I provide non-diet, fat-positive nutrition counseling so that you can feel safer and in your own skin and be your own nutrition expert. I'm going to do a little something different with y'all today just because it popped in my brain. That's why I'm a little bit late, because I was getting ready to hop on here at the top of the hour, and I wanted to add to what I was going to say today. So I took a few minutes, actually about 30, to jot some really rough little sketches for you to follow along with me as I teach you something today. Most of you who follow me a lot know that this is what I teach, but I want to do a visual for you today. So I know a lot of times either you've been in the journey a while, but it's just, it's going as fast as the slowest parts can go kind of thing in terms of feeling like you can trust the process, or maybe you're brand new and maybe you stopped dieting maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 days ago, 6 weeks ago, and you're starting to get to some realizations of like, whoa, I really can't do purposeful weight loss here, or like white knuckle my weight if I want to recover. I'm just totally seeing that, and it's scary. All right, so we're going to use two scenarios that come up a lot with at least our clients, our team's clients, and maybe this is your lived experience too. I'm not sure. You can put in the comments below what else could be put in place with this. All right, so two things we hear a lot of people say is that brings up a lot of fear and activation, and so they kind of stop short, or there's a lot of whack-a-mole, in the recovery. Is two statements we hear is fear of weight gain, and it feels really activating, and also just fear of feeling big feelings, and maybe we're not afraid to feel them, but they're just really intense, and they feel like they hijack our whole day, or we get in those feelings, and our good intentions for our day with our eating, meaning I'm going to eat regularly, I'm going to slow down, all those things start to just kind of crash. All right, so give me a minute here. I'm going to try to turn my camera around and see if I can show you all this. All right, there it is. Okay, it says I cannot rotate my phone while doing this, so I will do my best to make it close. All right, so a lot of times you get this feeling like fear of weight gain, fear of feelings, and the reason that a lot of us do get hung up on those, get hijacked by those, is because we don't have a big window of tolerance. So you see where that says no space, no regulation, no normative behaviors, meaning normative eating, or maybe your body checking, or taking diet pills, or whatever you're doing, over exercising, whatever, because there's not enough space in our emotional capacity to do our day-to-day life things and also make these big changes like recover from disordered eating or chronic dieting or body image issues. And so what happens, we have this top little space here. It says fear of weight gain, fear of feelings, and we kind of cycle trying to figure it out with our old strategies, even though we want to do something different. Like, I don't want a calorie count, but I'm so afraid of weight gain, and like I didn't count my calories for lunch, but I'm still thinking about. Can you hear it? You hear how fast I'm talking, and there's just a lot of fear there. So there's calorie counting, there's workaholism, there's exercise, then when you don't want to, there's berating yourself, there's being really, really hyper aware of anybody else's potential thoughts or judgments about you or opinions, and you don't want to be having these thoughts. But the reason you still are, even though you're still like, well, I'm on this recovery journey, is because we don't have enough space. We don't have enough internal safety inside for things to change. And so this is typically what it looks like at the beginning. Maybe you're white knuckling with your mental ability. All right, because what we're trying to get to here, so you guys are going to have to hang in there with me, is when we don't have a lot of space, what happens is over time, our bodies, okay, fear of weight gain, fear of feelings, maybe you've tried to manage that mentally for days or weeks, like white knuckle recovery, but with no space and no regulation, no like, how am I doing, no questioning it. What happens is our bodies wear out, and then we start to have the opposite negative beliefs that recovery won't work, that I can't change, I don't change, I always feel alone with this, it doesn't matter. And of course that behavior is going to look like still under and overeating, and just numbness or lack of feelings in general. So we go from like this hyperactivated state, fear, or fighting the thing, like trying to kind of bypass the work or getting mad or whatever it is, and that's okay, to just kind of shutting down. All right, and what I'm offering you all today is a commitment And let me see the little pictures I drew. So I missed a picture. I knew I would skip a page. So thank you all for being so patient here with me. No, that's not the page I want. This is the page I want. So the moment you start to have that hyperactivation, fear of weight gain, fear of feelings, we want to start building. See how big that window is there? Because when we get activated, if we don't have a safe internal and external resourcing to fall into, when we start to recognize those feelings, we'll either stay in that hyper arousal, fear, or we'll shut down. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Why try? Let's go back to dieting. And that's the whack-a-mole we get into when we try to perform recovery versus I have got to get serious here about anchors of truth and connection. And connection just means safe other people, getting time in your day to really commit to, like, I'm taking 1 minute every hour to pet my cat, whatever you're doing. And that's step one, is you got to slow down enough to recognize that you're in that activation and then you're not in an anchor of truth. Okay? You know, sometimes what we need to do is slow down and then feel reality. Can you get a felt sense that this chair you're sitting in is holding you up and you're not responsible for fixing everything? But if you can find something that's relatively good enough that doesn't hurt you, you can start to trust that, like, not everything is like those bad old days. There is something here that could help you. There's something bigger than you. Let's say the chair, the tree you lean against, maybe something bigger, like I said, which can help you orient. So you look around your room, you look out your window to nature, etc., other tools. And instead of like, oh my gosh, fear of weight gain, I'll never stop gaining weight if I don't restrict, it's like, wait. I want the truth here. Sometimes we can't get to the truth if we're in that much mental or emotional or physical activation. We want to get some anchors of truth and some connection. So step two is, you're working that. You're trying to get some space. You've got to create this bigger space here, because what we really want here is to be focused more on our values: love, safety, worth, purpose. And then be able to ask the question, but we can't use our mental capacity very well unless our bodies feel safer. So slow down, have your body have a sense of okayness enough in the environment to then maybe your brain can get on board and say, oh, how true is all this? That if I stop dieting, even if I gain some, that's not physiologically true, that our bodies won't get to some equilibrium. Even if I feel some hard feelings right now, that doesn't mean I'm going to feel bad forever. Or that even if I have a hard session with a clinician, that doesn't mean they don't have my back and don't care about me. It just means we're talking about hard stuff. And not every session is going to be easy, but it's all meant for growth. Right? Because if everything that we're doing is truly based on our values, love, relational safety, knowing that we're worth something regardless of what other people think about us, and that it all matters, purpose, then we are way more likely to get out of that whack-a-mole. To get out of that whack-a-mole of, like, either I'm fearful and I stay in this fear and I try to, like, kind of like half in, half out with recovery, or I stay in this fear until I wear out, basically, and then I shut down and I start to hear the shutdown, I call the shutdown voice, which is always like, I'm too old to recover, and it's too hard, I can't do this, what's it matter, I might as well diet anyway. And those are just places where we've worn out the trying to do the right thing, but totally from a fear base, I have to place versus I can, and I want to. All right, so I hope this little teaching helped you. I know it was rough in terms of like the technology here, but I appreciate you hanging in there. If you have any questions about, like, yeah, that's kind of what happens to me, or that feels familiar, put it down in the comments below and we'll talk through it a little bit more. So anyway, I will see you in the next video, and I look forward to going into all these maybe just a little bit deeper around anchors of truth. Because if we don't have some truth, we will rely on our autopilot strategies we've had since childhood or adolescence or early adulthood, where when we don't feel safe, we're relying on our old things even if we don't want to. So thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.